back to my tutorial. Today I'll be looking at how to make a button down shirt, a shirt dress. And I'll be using this crepe material to teach you on that. This is a 2 years crepe material. Firstly, I'll cut the front before cutting the back. To be having a button all through the front side of the dress. So what I'll first of all do is to fold my fabric into two. Okay, so after folding it into two, the gown length I'm working with is 37 inches plus 2 inches for seam allowance. That's equal to 39 inches. The bust we'll be using is 34 inches, the waist 28 inches, and the hip measurement will be 38 inches. So firstly, we take our gown length from the shoulder to the length of the dress. So this is 39 inches. Okay, so this is 39 inches. So since this dress is going to have a button, we have to create the space for our button to sit, because we'll be folding the front side, both the right and the left side, for where we fix our button hole and the button. So I'll be using 1.5 inches. You can use either 1.5 inches or 2 inches for your button allowance. So it's just like the zip allowance we leave at the on our dress. So it's just similar way, but this is going to be a button. So I'll just go ahead and mark 1.5 inches to the end of the dress. 1.5 inches. So all measurements will start from this allowance I'm creating for my button. So the button will sit to the end of the dress, from the neckline area to the gown length. Like I said, it's a shirt gown. So I'm just trying to roll out my line. I believe you guys can see the line I created. This line will serve as my button allowance. So after the line, I'll take my shoulder measurement. Shoulder measurement I'm working with is 15 inches. You divide your shoulder by 2. Divide by 2 will give me 7.5. So I'll just mark 7.5 here. While my round armhole measurement, that's the armhole, is 15 inches. Also divide by 2 will give me 7.5. I'll also draw that out. So I'll connect from my shoulder to my armhole depth on a straight line. Okay. So this is my armhole line. Sorry if my chalk is not visible enough. Let me try and draw it again. I'm just retracing the chalk, but I feel it's not visible enough. Okay, this is the chalk measurement. So for my armhole curve, I'll come in by 1 inch around the center of the armhole line. Then I'll check for the midpoint for here. For my armhole distance, that's 7.5 divided by 2 will give me 3.75. Then I'll connect to the 1 inch I came in with to create my armhole curve. I can as well use a roller for it, but I feel I should show the hand-free method of doing it in case you are not having an armhole curve. So this is the curve. So beneath the armhole, I'll take my bust measurement, which is 34 inches, divided by 4 will give me 8.5. 8.5. So I'll just mark 8.5 here. plus 3 inches seam allowance. I'm using 3 inches extra because I don't want this dress to be fitted. It's kind of free. So I'll just use 2 inches for shaping my dress, then 1 inch for ease. So this is my bust measurement. I just connected it to the armhole. Then I will take my half length measurement from my shoulder to my half length is 14 inches. So I'll just mark 14 inches here. This is 14 inches. On this line now, I'll take my waist measurement, which is 28 inches. Divide by 4 will give me 7 inches. 7 inches here. Plus 3 inches seam allowance. Okay. The shirt gown is not normally tight, so we need some space in it. From the shoulder, from my shoulder to my waist, 24 inches. So I'll just mark 24 inches here. So on this line now, I'll take my hip measurement from my shoulder to my hip, from my shoulder to my hip is 24 inches. From my shoulder to my waist is 14 inches. So on that 24 inches I created now, this line I've drawn, I'll take my hip measurement, which is 38. Divide by 4 will give me 9.5. You can see all my measurements is starting from after the line, not before the line. Look at where I placed my tape after the line, so that's 9.5. So on my hip line, I don't want the hip to be too free, so I'll just use 2.5 inches, half inch for ease, then 2 inches for seam allowance. 2.5 inches, because I want that side to be a little bit, I don't want much space there. So this is my hip measurement. So I'll just connect the lines now from my hip. I'll take same measurement here that I have on my hip, on my hemming line. That's the total measurement including the seam allowance on the hip area. So what I'm having here in total is 12 inches. I'm having 12 inches in total. So I'll just come to the lower part of my gown and mark 12 inches. 12 inches. Then I'll add 1 inch extra because I want it to be in form of an inline gown, inline shirt gown. So I'll just connect my lines together from my hip to the hemming part of the dress. I'm just trying to connect the lines together. Then I'll use a smaller ruler from my waist to my hip. You can use freehand on this, but I just choose to use my ruler. Then from my bust to my waist. Okay, so this is what I'm having. I don't know if it's clear enough. Just trying to make it visible. Sorry about the chalk. Okay, this is what I'm having. You can see. So this is the shape of my dress. So I'll cut this off before cutting the neckline. But firstly, we'll open up our button allowance. I'll open it up because it's still on fold. So I'll be using my iron to fold the button allowance in, just like this. I'll just fold it and iron it. Something like this. To be like this, I'll just iron it straight to the down, then I'll match on it before placing to cut the back. I'll iron it before placing to cut the back. I just fold it like this. You fold it, the line you created, you fold it to that line, like this. Then you fold the edges inward again. I'll just iron that, then cut the back part of the dress. Okay, I've folded the front, so you can see how it's looking. You just have to fold it and match it on it. Just sew it on it like that. Just like the way I showed you. You iron, then after ironing, you can pin it up before sewing on it. So I'll be using this front part to cut the back. Then we cut our neckline. I want to cut both the front and the back before cutting the neck. Okay, so I'll just bring the rest of my material and fold it into two. Okay, I just placed one of the front part on it and I folded the fabric into two, as you can see, and I placed the front on it. I'll just cut this out. Remember, you are not adding any allowance to the, like zipper allowance or anything at the back. The folded area should, you cut the side area, the back should be on fold, just as like it is here. Then you just place the front on it and cut out. So that's just it about the back. So I'm trying to cut the lower part of my dress. Sorry, earlier on I forgot to show you guys about the shoulder slope. When cutting your shoulder slope, you mark 3 inches along your neck width, then you come down by 1 inch around your shoulder area. As you can see, this is, the front is 1 inch lower than the back, and you can see it's equal at this area. So this is the shoulder slope. You come down by 1 inch around your shoulder area and 3 inches on the neckline area. That's the first thing to do. I'm very sorry for not showing you that initially. So you just mark 3 inches here, then 1 inch around your shoulder area, then you connect the lines together before taking the armhole measurement. So right now we just cut the neckline for both the front and the back. So I'll just place the second piece of the front on it to mark my neckline. Okay. So after placing it like this, ensuring it's equal. So for my neck width, I'll be using 3 inches for the neck width. 3 inches. So I'll mark 3 inches here. My neck depth for the front will be 3.5 inches because this dress is going to have a collar. 3.5 inches. Then I'll connect. While for the back, I'll be using 1 inch for the neck depth. 1 inch. So I'll connect it to that 3 inches I created earlier on. So I'll just connect like this. And also connect the back. So this is for the back and this is for the front. So I'll cut the back neck first. Then cut the front. Okay, so that's it for the bodies. Okay, another thing we are going to do now is on this lower part of the dress, like the side area, the other end of it, I want it to have, the dress to have a kind of curve. from the front part and the back part, while the side parts will go inward. So I'll come up here. This is optional though. I come up here by 5 inches, 5 inches, not along the front area. You don't do it around the button side, the other side of the dress, the armhole area. You come up here by at the lower part of the dress, the side area. You come up by 5 inches. Then I'll connect to meet this point. That's the front part. You just connect from that 5 inches to meet here. Just connect, creating a curve. Okay, the next thing to do is to join the shoulder area. That's both the front against the back, right side facing each other. You just bring the front. You turn the right side of your dress. This is the right side and this is the back part. Then I'll place the front part against the right side facing each other. Then I'll cut. You join the shoulder area first before cutting your collar. Okay. You make sure the right side are facing each other, then you join your shoulder. So this is the shoulder of my dress. So I'll just go ahead and join it, then measure around my neckline to cut my collar. Okay guys, I've joined the sleeve, the shoulder area as you can see, and I've also shaping the side area of my dress. And this is my sleeve. It's just a basic sleeve, a 3/4 hand sleeve. It's a basic sleeve, so I'll be dropping a link on how to cut a basic sleeve. I have the video already, so you can just go through my videos in my channel and you see a video on how to cut a basic sleeve. So that's that about the sleeve. So right now I'll be cutting the collar part of this dress. So what we'll do now, we'll measure around the neck. Just place your tape like this from the front part, measure it round. Measure it round. Okay, what I'm having here is 20 inches. 20 inches. So I'll just get another of my material, like the extra of my material. I'll fold it into two. So remember we measured our collar round neck to be 20 inches. So since the material is on fold, we'll divide that 20 by 2, which is 10 inches. So this is 10 inches. I'll be using this exactly 10 inches because I'll be needing extra allowance to join and to also fold the side area for the joining of the side area. So add ½ inch extra to it, making it 10.5. So we're using total of 10.5 for the neckline. 10.5, and I want my collar to be a total length of 4 inches. So 4 inches. So I just marked 4 inches. I think I'll cut this outside to get a clearer. Okay, this is it. 4 inches wide and 10.5 inches long. By the time you open it up to be 11 inches. So what we're doing now is we'll mark 1 inch here, 1 inch here, around the side that has opening. You mark 1 inch, then you come in by 2 inches. The line you mark, on the line you mark 1 inch, you just come in by 2 inches or 1.5 inches, just based on preference. Okay, let's do 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, then 2 inches. Then you just curve it a little to meet with this edge part. You just curve it a little like this, creating a curve. Then I'll use my ruler to connect from this point to this edge, to this sharp edge. I'll just place it like this to the 1.5 inches I created. Okay, so this is how it will be looking. You come in by 1.5 inches, you create a curve to meet this end, then you connect to this side. Okay, we are having like 3 inches. You just connect to the 1.5 inches. Then around this edge, the other edge, you mark half inch. You mark half inch here. Then you connect from this edge to meet up with the half inch here, just like to create a kind of curve. So just connect like this. Okay, just create a curve. So I'll just cut this out. Mind you, this is a joint collar, and I won't be attaching any collar stand to it. If you are doing yours, you can choose to attach a collar stand to it. Okay, so this is what I'm having. Okay, by the time you open it up, it will be like this. So I'll cut another piece of this to use to turn it over. You can choose to gum this if you want to. Like I said earlier on, I won't be doing that. So this will just automatically fall on its own. So this is the side we'll be attaching to our dress. This lower part. This where the curved area is where we'll be attaching to the dress. What I'm going to do now, just place this on it like this. I'll just cut a kind of a rectangular shape. I won't be creating this collar shape. I'll do that while sewing it. When I'm sewing, I'll sew from this end on the rectangular shape. Let me just cut it out so you can see what I'm trying to explain. Okay, so this is what I have, and this is the second piece. I didn't shapen it with my scissors. I will sew it. I'll do that while sewing. While sewing, then I'll follow the shape of my collar. I'll just sew from this point, this curved area, using 1/4 inches to this point, then sew to this point, and sew on the upper area as well. I'll sew on this. I'll sew it from this point like this, like this. I'll just follow the shape of the main color. That's this one, the main color. I'll follow the shape on this plain one to make it easier. You can as well cut it out if you want to, but I feel this method is easier. You just sew on it, follow the collar shape, and sew, leaving this side open, leaving the lower part open, which you use to attach to your dress. So I'll do just okay. After sewing, you can see the shape of the thread. I'll just cut it out accordingly. I'll just follow the thread I sewed and cut it out. Just come here. Okay, so this is it. This is my collar. This is not a separate collar, it's a joint collar. So I can just go ahead and notch the edges. Then you can see I didn't sew this other side, it's open. I'm using it to fix on the dress. So I'll just notch here a little. I'll just notch around the side area. Okay, after notching, I'll just flip it over and iron. Okay, so this is it. I just ironed it. You can as well match on it round after turning it. You can just match on it tiny round like that. That's optional though. So this is my collar. So if you want to fix it on the dress, you open it up and fix like this. You open the collar up like this. Fix one side first on the dress, then you use the other one to cover it up, like turning it off so that the rough part will not show. You open it up. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I just open it up, so I just place it on it like this. Then I'll sew around the neck. After sewing it round, I'll just bring the second one like this and flip it over. Then bend the edge a little, like quarter inches. I'll just bend it over on it like this. So I'll do just that and show you how it is. Okay, and also before you fix this collar, you fold your dress like this. You notch the midpoint and you notch the midpoint of your collar. You start from the midpoint and fix. You start from the midpoint. What I mean by the midpoint, you fold your collar into two, the center of it like this, you notch, and the center of your dress as well, you notch. You start from that notched area, you start fixing for the notched area. Right? This is the outcome of the dress. This is my shirt gown, and this is the button, and this is my button hole. To fix your button, you have to measure from the collar side to the length of the dress. Then you divide by the distance you want your button to be. Like what I'm having here is 12 buttons, so I just divide my gown length by 12 and I fix my button. So thank you so much for watching, and I really appreciate you guys that have been watching my videos. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Please, if you have yet to subscribe to this channel, ensure to do so. Like, share and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to turn on your notification bell to be the first to get notified when I upload a new video. See you in my next video. Bye. This is my pocket, the sleeve.